What's up, you guys? This is Professor Ron with OneHourProfessor.com, and Google Auto Ads are getting talked about quite a bit by a few different people. I've actually seen in a lot of different places that people are talking about auto ads and is it worth it? And I think that's because Google somewhat recently, they had released an update to them and everyone's like, well, are they really a good idea to use on my website, right? Is it something that's going to pay off, or should I not even test it out? And my short answer to that is yes, you should put them on your website. But you need to watch this video till the end. And I'm not just saying that to get watch time on YouTube. I'm saying that because I've gone through a lot of experiences with Google Auto Ads. I understand Google Auto Ads. And I know the things that you need to know that you don't know yet about Google Auto Ads in order to implement them correctly. And if you don't implement them correctly, there are some bad things that can happen. So what I want to do in this video is explain what some of those things are. And by the end of the video, I'll also do a screen share to show you Google AdSense Auto Ads, how they're performing on my own websites, so that you understand how much revenue they can make compared to manual placements, etc. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so for those that don't know, and really quick, I want to cover this, what are Google Auto Ads? Well, basically, this is something that Google AdSense has on their platform, and they previously had a version of it, but a lot of people didn't like it. I think this newer version is better, and it's actually done some pretty good things for me. But Google Auto Ads is, instead of taking code and manually placing it on your website or using a plugin to do this, which is what I do for a lot of my stuff, Google Auto Ads will actually automatically put ads throughout your entire website. So you put one piece of code in there, you tell Google what types of ads you'd like on your website, and then it does all the work for you, which sounds pretty good, right? The key here is that these auto ads, really, they take a lot less thought and they really make you a lot more revenue because you don't have to sit there with your headspace and think about this stuff. It's like, oh man, I don't want to really deal with this. And someone that's not really familiar with this stuff, it's a great alternative. They say, you know what, forget it. I just want them to do everything. They turn it on, it's ready to go. So why would someone use AdSense Auto Ads? It's a good question, right? Because it's like, okay, well, you can just put them manually. Why would you use the auto ones? And there's actually a lot of reasons. The first one is pretty simple. It is really easy to implement auto ads. For websites that you have, if you already have AdSense, you basically just turn on auto ads and voila, they're there. It's that easy. You literally just click a thing and it's done. You have to toggle some settings, and like I said, watch the video all the way to the end because I'll tell you what settings those are and what you need to keep an eye out for. But that's one of the biggest benefits, right? And even for someone who has a new website, if they're like, I don't really know how to do ads, okay, just copy paste this code, boom, now your whole website can have auto ads. It's hard to fight that, right? Another reason why people should, or if someone uses auto ads is because they like this video and subscribe to the channel. That's not really the reason, but it'd be awesome if you guys did that. I'd really appreciate it. But another reason is that it is extra income in addition to the manual ads that they place. This is why I have tested out auto ads, is because I already have ads set up on my website manually. I've done all this work manually. And then I'm like, well, I wonder if I can make a little bit more money. The answer is yes, you can. And the answer to that is use auto ads. So you implement auto ads on your website and boom, now you're making more money, which is a beautiful thing. The last thing is that they are simply lazy. I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with it. There's no ways, no way to go around it. Some people are just lazy and they're like, man, I just don't want to deal with ads. Okay, throw Google Auto Ads on there and you're done. So do I use auto ads myself? Yes. As I had mentioned just a second ago, I do use them. But as I said, I tweak certain things to make sure that they're performing the way that I want them to perform. So what kinds or what types of ads does Google Auto Ads offer, right? There's quite a few different ones. There is in-page ads, there's match content ads, there are anchor text ads, and there are vignette ads. Now, I wish that there was an ad out there for people to just like this video and subscribe on the channel, but I don't think that there is. But okay, let me get back to it here. The thing is that they have a lot of different ads that you can use, a lot of different ad units that you can use in auto ads. And it's really a matter of preference, right? There's certain ones that I like and certain ones that I don't. And I'll kind of show you in the screen share. I'll kind of explain some of them to you. But generally speaking, like vignette ads, I stay away from. I stay very far away because those are the ones after somebody clicks, it'll show them an ad and totally intrusive on their experience. I don't personally like that. And you can look in the description to find out all the different ad types. And like I said, I'll show you in the screen share a little bit, some of them. But generally speaking, I'll use all of them except the vignette ads. And that said, before I get to the screen share, there are some possible problems that can happen with Google AdSense auto ads. And some of them are a little frightening. So first off, and probably my biggest one, is that you have a lack of control. You have like no control over auto ads. You can do a few things to tweak them, but at the end of the day, what you're gonna find is that Google, usually when you join this program and you're using auto ads, they are just gonna jam ads throughout your content in all these different places. Sometimes it's not so bad and you're like, okay, I can deal with ads there, but sometimes you're like, man, really don't like that ad's there. And you can adjust things to make it, in some areas, go away. But the full, the limitations of how much you can control, that's one of the things I don't like. Like, you can't necessarily say, oh, I just want it to be so there's no more than 6 ads a page. You can't do that. So Google might throw 7, 8, 9 ads on a page, and they, in certain cases, have done that to me. It's important that you look at the pages afterwards, but it's just something to keep in mind. Speaking of control, one thing I do want to say, guys, and I don't usually push this, but I do have to mention it. Make sure, if you are kind of trying to create websites or you haven't been all that successful yet, go to my website, OneHourProfessor.com. You can go to the homepage. You can read the little thing that says Learn the Truth About Online Marketing. At the end of that, you're going to get a free mini course. It's free. It's completely free. So make sure you check it out. The next problem with auto ads is and this one is mind-boggling, you could potentially have violations with AdSense using auto ads. Yes, with their own freaking product, you could get violations, which is pretty crazy, and I can't believe that that's true, but it just is. So first off, they don't account if you have other ad network ads on your pages. They don't account for those ads. So that can cause a big problem, because you might have a page that has 15, a blog post that has 15 ads or something like that, or 20 ads, and they aren't even accounting for all the ads of the other platforms that you're using. So like if you're using Media.net, for an example, which I've used in some of my websites, it won't even account for those, which is pretty scary, because when somebody enters a page with the ad coalition, basically if over 30% of the page is ads right when they land there, you can actually get the ads blocked in mobile devices. There's a lot of things to it. I won't get into great detail here, but that's one of the scary things, is that it doesn't recognize all those other ad networks out there. And I'm not just talking about Media.net. I mean, there's other ones out there. They don't even recognize that. In addition to that, they very well can show too many ads on pages. It's very possible. There is a setting that I use in there that I'll talk about and show you that can adjust that, but they can very well use too many ads on a page. Not only is that going to hurt the user experience, but it could potentially create a violation with Google AdSense, and then you're dealing with some real trouble. The next problem I see with Google Auto Ads is that sometimes it can slow down your page load times, which is never a good thing, right? Site speed's important. I would say for me, the trade-off of the amount of revenue that I make versus how much slower it makes it is worth it. But if you have a slow website or having issues already, it could be one of those things you're like, oh, this is kind of a deal breaker. So it is one of those things, but then you just have to look at it as, well, revenue versus page load speed, which one's more important. Next, I want to talk about the alternatives to Google AdSense auto ads. So yes, there are alternatives out there. The first alternative, and this is kind of an alternative and it's kind of a really good one, is to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Why aren't you doing it? Not really. If you could, I'd appreciate it, guys. I like the community. I want a community. I want you guys to be part of it. Please like and subscribe. But that being said, there are alternatives. The first one that comes to mind for me, and I have a link in the description below that you can use to get over to them, is Ezoic, right? Ezoic is a platform that uses artificial intelligence, and it uses Google AdSense, but it uses it in a way that it also pairs it with artificial intelligence to make sure that your user experience isn't completely destroyed and that you're making a lot of revenue at the same time. And it does certain things using machine learning to make you the most money while not completely destroying your UX of your website, which is good. Also, there is Mediavine, there is Adthrive, there's Monumetric. There is a lot of different platforms out there that, they're these networks, these ad networks that can help you, because sometimes they have third-party partners that'll pay more money. But, I definitely recommend that you test these different things as well to see what really performs best. As I mentioned earlier, there's also Media.net, which is one, and there is a link below to Media.net if you're interested in testing that out. I think you should test it out. I've tested it out, and I found that sometimes in certain websites it actually paid better than Google AdSense. So it's definitely something that's worth looking into. And now guys, here it is, the time you've been waiting for. Let me do a screen share to show you AdSense auto ads and also show you some of the settings that you need to toggle with in order to be successful. Okay, so here you can see this is the automatic Google AdSense ad settings, right? And obviously some of the stuff is blurred out, you guys. That's because I don't want people stealing my URLs of all my stuff. And quite frankly, this is one of the websites that I don't really deal with all too often. But this is auto ads. You can enable this or disable this, whatever you want to do. You can also optimize your existing ad units. I don't use that, but that basically lets them test things about your current ad units to see how auto ads would perform against it. But basically what you do here, you have different ad formats, right? You have in-page ads, and it tells you what all these ads are, which is nice. So you have in-page ads that appear in the main body of the content, match content. This is like a promotion tool that can increase revenue and engagement. It's usually on the bottom of your posts. They have the anchor ad placement, which is on mobile, the lower part or the higher part of the page. There's going to be like an anchor ad that's stuck to the screen there, right? That's what those are. And then they have Vignette. These are a mobile full screen ads that appear between page loads. I hate these because it's one of those where somebody clicks on a link and then it sees an ad and then they're like, close ad, and then they go back and they click on another link and then it throws an ad at them again. It's just too much. Some people use it, I will not. So this is what's important, and what I said, there are some things that are really important here and some settings that you need to mess with. When you are using Google Auto Ads, two things that you absolutely need to do. Go into ad load, okay? This will tell you how many ads you're showing per page. It won't actually tell you the number, but if you do this, if you move it all the way to max and save it, you're going to have a crazy amount of ads on your page. But if you go down to minimum, you're going to reduce those ads significantly. Default, I usually leave it about the middle, and then I'll look at my pages and I'll look at like 5 different pages. And if I think, you know what, there's still too many ads, I'll reduce it, right? I'll bring it down a little bit. You can do whatever you want, but the point is be really careful with your ad load, because if you put it all the way to max and you already have manual ads on there too, you're gonna have like 20 ads in a page, and that's pretty brutal. That's the first thing. Second thing is these page exclusions. This is really big. Usually what I do is I will manage this and I will put a page exclusion always on the home page. Always, always, always make sure that the home page doesn't have it. Contact pages, about pages, you know, take all the ads off of there, because they will throw the ads anywhere, right? That's how this tool works. But I'll usually take them off of there. When I do that, I find that it's pretty reasonable, successful. It'll just basically place more ads inside my blog posts, some of my category post pages. So it's really not terrible, but it's definitely something that you want to tweak as you're going. Okay guys, so here I have one of my websites open up, and I know that there's some stuff on the screen that's blocking you from seeing some things. I don't want people stealing my sites, and I can't tell you everything about my AdSense account, but here's what I can show you. Basically with this particular website, in the last 30 days, I have made about $5,800 with manual ads that I have, and I've made around $438. So a little bit less than 10%, around 8%. This particular website does not have a lot of auto ads at all. I've done that on purpose because I did a lot of manual ad placement. So that's how that one's working out. The next one here we have, it is basically a little bit different, right? We have the ads placed manual and automatic. I definitely have more automatic ads here. And you can see that in this particular case, we have about $755 in the last 30 days in manual ad placements, and then 171, which is significantly more, right? Now you're talking about more than 20% of the revenue is coming through the auto ads. So this particular website, I'm allowing more auto ads, but I've also tweaked it to be more careful. And then the last website here, and this one is really interesting. Basically, I have my manual auto ad placement, which I haven't focused a ton on. And then I have my automatic ad placement, which is actually kind of close to making the same. And at one point, it actually was making more. So this is one that I've been more aggressive with my ad units, and I'm letting auto ads do what it wants to do because it's really informational purely, and you know, there's not a ton that people can run into otherwise. So I'm basically letting auto ads kind of do its thing there. So there it is, you guys. That is everything I know about Google Auto Ads and some of the kind of things that you should really pay attention to when you're implementing them. Just be careful with this, you guys. Take it slow, put them on, start testing them, make sure that they work for you. And then if you want to push them further, you can. Otherwise, guys, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I love talking to you guys. And as I always remind you, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Like the video so other people can find it. Subscribe to the channel so that I can find you and you can become part of the community. That'd be great. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.